Hello, and welcome back to Flannel Review Fridays. Today I've got one of my favorite models. It is in the Jack's line of clothing, it's Jack, not Jock. People sometimes get that wrong. One of the first, most defining features you'll notice about this one is the color. You have just beautiful, vibrant, kind of baby blues, and the patterning is pretty incredible on this one. You have a bunch of distinct shadings along the intersections of the plaid. Another thing that defines this one for me is this little hook right here. You don't have to stretch out the collar at all. You can hook it on and just grab it on your way out the door. Another reason why this one is a key piece of my collection is, you may have already noticed, but it's got two pockets. I mentioned in last week's review that I'm not a huge fan of buttons, but I'm not gonna be petty. You can just unbutton it yourself, leave it unbuttoned. As you can see, I got one unbuttoned, one buttoned. Something that you may be able to realize over video, but maybe if I get in a little bit closer, you'll be able to see, is the fabric is much thicker on this one than the last two I've shown. It's probably a flannel that I'd wear in cooler weather. Even still, I definitely think this one's pretty versatile in terms of what season you want to wear it. And then also, it is kind of a vintage feel to it. The other two I had were kind of more maybe modernist styles, whereas this one, even though it's not a relic, it's not an antique, it has the feel of something that maybe a lumberjack would wear in 1960s, 1950s. Let's see what it looks like on a person. This is what it looks like on a person. Despite being one of the bigger, maybe more baggier flannels in my collection, it has a nice fit to it. It's still snug. I love the feel of the more thick fabric on my arms. The term flannel actually comes from the French word flannel, which started to derive when France had an abundance of wool and they could start making warmer, more stylish kind of clothing items. So they started making flannels, and this might actually be close to what the original flannel looked like. It might have been in bed sheets or whatever, but it would have been thick and kind of feeling like this. And from a historical perspective, I definitely appreciate this one's significance to me. Again, it's a modern flannel. It just has more of an old feel to it. It's not too tight anywhere on me. If we do the sleeve test, works fine. Just goes right into it. No drag, no pull. I definitely want to emphasize with this flannel that it's not too tight around the shoulders. There are many flannels in my collection, and I think just on the markets today, that are trying to have a more sleek, more fitted feel, and I can appreciate that. I can get behind that, but for me, you can't go wrong with a flannel that's loose but still fits. Bringing you in a bit closer, you'll notice that this is a 2-button model. You don't have the 3rd button here that some do. Makes it have a little bit of a looser feel. You can't tighten it. I wouldn't really deduct any ratings for that though, because I definitely want this flannel to have that feel. And then if I bring you in closer, you can get a lot of the nice pattern that's in here. I definitely like the form factor of the plaid. Often I feel like there's a standardized shape people try to go with, which is usually like, just alternating between these two squares. But we have some rectangles in here. We have some weird, interesting shading. If you have different shading on different lines. You have symmetry, you have parallelism. I think this one, in terms of exploring new ideas in flannel design, it doesn't do stuff that's incredibly original, but it does stuff that's still outside the box enough. And I can certainly appreciate that. When all is said and done, this is definitely one of the pieces I like most in my collection. I know I said that last week, but I mean even more now. This one, I don't know if you can get it on the market right now. It's maybe a slightly older model than what Jack's has posted. I'll post a link to something close to it in the description. I think it'll probably run you $40, maybe $50 with shipping. I'd give this flannel I don't think I've found a perfect flannel yet, so I can't give it a 5 out of 5. But I think same as last week, solid 4.5 out of 5, maybe even closer to the 5 range than last week's. I did have 2 submissions this week in terms of flannels people want me to review. The first flannel is actually 2 flannels. As you can see, it's looks like 2 buds out in the wild wearing flannels together, which I'm always behind. You know, get out there, find the people you like, wear flannels together. Right off the bat, the person in the blue mask, who is actually my little brother's friend, wearing the red flannel. Love that flannel. I'm gonna give it, looks really good on you, and I think I would definitely wear it as well. The other flannel, and this does happen to be my brother, I'm trying to get rid of any bias. I wouldn't wear it. It looks okay on you. It's not my favorite flannel that I've seen. Maybe talk to me and we can get you a better flannel in the running. But love it, guys. Keep wearing flannels. The other flannel was submitted by a friend of the show. It's her dog wearing a flannel, which absolutely adorable. I love it. I want all pets wearing flannels. As long as they're happy, don't force your animals to wear clothing if they don't want to. But this little guy looks super content. Sadly, I would not fit into that flannel, so I couldn't give it the, I think we would both rock it, but keep wearing that flannel, you cute dog. That's all we have this week for Flannel Review Friday. I hope you tune in next week. I teased maybe a Tuesday show, still have that in the works. But for now, keep wearing flannels. It's getting a bit chilly, you know, perfect time now more than ever. See you next week.